I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
As the stage lights dimmed and thousands of cheers filled the air, no one could have imagined that night would be a moment that would change the history of BTS's world tour. Amidst the pounding music and euphoric screams, one name once again shook the entertainment world: Kim Taehyung, also known as V of BTS. What happened that night was more than just a musical performance. It was a perfect confluence of art, fashion, and emotion, fused into one unforgettable performance. As soon as his silhouette emerged from the stage fog, the atmosphere changed. Time seemed to stand still for a moment. On the giant screen, the spotlight illuminated his figure, standing tall with a calm yet domineering aura. His look that night was simple, but that was precisely the magic. Minimalist, yet stunning. Simple, yet classy. A signature Taehyung aesthetic that never fails to capture the world's attention. He wore an oversized black jacket that fell gently with his movements, paired with loose-fitting shorts and crisp white shoes. No excessive flash, no flashy accessories. Yet all eyes were on him. The red microphone in his hand was the only color that stood out against the black and white, a symbol that fans later came to associate with Taehyung's quiet fire. When he began to sing, the atmosphere immediately changed. His voice was soft, deep, and full of feeling. His movements weren't exaggerated, but each step felt like part of an emotional choreography. The camera captured every detail, from the way he gently bowed his head to the small smile that appeared mid-song. It wasn't a contrived expression, but a candid moment from an artist truly living on stage. On social media, the world was in an uproar. The hashtags #RunSeokjin #BeOnStage, and #Taehyung fashion shot to the top of global trends in a matter of minutes. Thousands of fan bases from various countries flooded Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok with close-up videos, zoom-in photos, and snippets of magical moments they dubbed the Tame effect. Several fashion accounts called his look the birth of K-pop minimalism, while fans wrote, "He doesn't wear clothes. Clothes wear him." A fashion journalist from Vogue Korea even wrote, "Taehyung's style redefines elegance. It's rebellion in silence. Beauty that doesn't scream, but resonates." Interestingly, his style wasn't a coincidence. In a brief post-concert interview, one of his stylists revealed that the outfit was designed to reflect the emotional theme of the Run Seokjin EP Encore tour: freedom in simplicity. This philosophy aligns perfectly with Taehyung's personal principles, that fashion isn't just about looks, but an expression of the soul. And indeed, that philosophy was evident on stage. As he stood under a single spotlight, his red microphone was the only vibrant color amidst the dark room. Black and white conveyed serenity and mystery, while red reflected his passion and enthusiasm for music. Fans called it visual poetry, a visual poem in motion. Several critics later noted that Taehyung's performance that night was not just a concert, but a cultural event. Photos of him were reshared by celebrities and renowned designers around the world. One international designer even wrote, "He turned simplicity into spectacle. That's a rare gift." But behind all the praise, what made this moment so precious was his humility. In a behind-the-scenes video released a few days later, he was seen laughing with the crew, patting tired staff on the shoulders, and bowing respectfully to the camera as he expressed his thanks. There was no arrogance. There was no distance. Just an artist who truly appreciated the stage and the people around him. From Seoul to Sao Paulo, from Tokyo to Paris, all agreed that that night, Taehyung didn't just perform, he created memories. Fans described the atmosphere of the concert as like time standing still, a moment where the world felt still, and only the sound of the music and V's presence enveloped everything. Even after the concert ended, its impact continued to reverberate. Short clips with titles like "The Night Taehyung Ruled Minimalism" and "When One Man Stopped the World" flooded YouTube. Content creators created montages set to melancholic music, while fashion analysts discussed the details of his jacket structure and the balance of proportions in each pose. Meanwhile, massive fan bases from various countries have begun organizing tribute projects to Taehyung. From Seoul to Manila to Paris to Los Angeles, large LED screens display his portrait holding a red microphone, standing in a single beam of light. Some fans even organized Red Mic Day, a symbolic gesture to celebrate the calm but fiery philosophy that has become a new icon of his style and career. On Twitter, the hashtags #TheRedMicV and #TeamStageArt reached over 50 million mentions in a week. It wasn't just the army talking about it. Fashion magazines, international fashion labels, and even global musicians were commenting. One British Vogue editor wrote, "Kim Taehyung isn't just a performer. He's a storyteller who uses fashion and silence as his instruments." Interestingly, several Korean designers admitted that after that night, demand for minimalist monochrome outfits with bold pops of color increased dramatically. The effect was palpable. Even in the fashion industry, local brands acknowledged that the Taehyung trend was a key inspiration for their next season's collections. They all wanted to capture the same essence, a powerful calm, a simplicity that speaks volumes. However, beneath all the spotlight and prestige, Taehyung remains Taehyung. In a personal vlog released a few days later, he is seen sitting in a practice room, still wearing a simple white t-shirt, staring at his phone screen displaying footage of the night's concert. In a soft voice, he said, "I don't know why everyone is talking about my clothes. I just want to feel comfortable on stage and be able to sing honestly." That one sentence was enough to emphasize what has always been his hallmark: sincerity. Fans responded emotionally. Many wrote that it was the reason they loved him, because beneath all the pomp, Taehyung still exuded a genuine humanity. He wasn't an icon standing atop a tower, but a relatable figure, an artist who let his heart speak through every little detail. No complicated words were needed, just one smile, one gentle gesture, one look, and the world understood it all. And that night, all those elements came together to form something greater than a mere performance. It was an emotional connection between an artist and the millions of souls watching. Meanwhile, entertainment industry analysts began to note an interesting phenomenon. Taehyung's performance on that tour was considered a turning point in BTS's global image post-military. No longer just a group with high energy and explosive choreography, but also a group that highlighted the maturity, meaning, and individuality of each member. And in that context, Taehyung emerged as the face of BTS's new era, an era in which emotions and personal expression took center stage. Harper's Bazaar magazine wrote an in-depth review titled "When V Turned Minimalism into Emotion." In their article, they called Taehyung's stage presence more than just style, but a statement of existence. He proved that in an industry hungry for sensationalism, calm can be the loudest form of power. A few days later, a fan cam of his performance reached 100 million views on YouTube, and the video continues to climb. The comments on the video show how profound his impact was. "I can't explain why I cried when I watched it. He didn't have to dance too hard. His aura speaks for itself. Taehyung doesn't just perform, he makes us feel." The words are simple, but they capture the essence of it all. Taehyung isn't just an idol, he's an emotional experience. Interestingly, after the concert, several exclusive photos taken by the tour's official photographer were leaked to the media. One photo shows Taehyung backstage, standing in front of a mirror, holding a red microphone and smiling faintly. The photo went viral within hours. Many wrote captions like, "The calm before the magic." Some even turned the image into a digital painting, a symbol of the superstar's introspective side. Today, a month after that night, the Taehyung effect lives on. He has proven that a moment on stage can be more than just entertainment. It can be a work of art, philosophy, and even culture. He didn't just perform on the Run Seokjin EP Encore tour. He created a new chapter in K-pop stage history. And perhaps, in the future, people will look back on that night not just as an amazing performance, but as the beginning of a new chapter in Kim Taehyung's career, one where music, fashion, and soul merge into a perfect whole.